Here to talk all about it is Alderman of the 27th Ward of Chicago, Walter Burnett Jr. Alderman, thank you for being here, fielding these questions. You know, we're curious, how is the city balancing now the protesters' right to demonstrate with these concerns about public safety and potential disruptions to the DNC?
Yeah, so I think most of all, the city is concerned not only about the disruptions about the DNC, but they're concerned about the disruptions with the people who live in the community. So they want to make sure everybody's safe. We have a mayor who is an organizer himself. He's an organizer for the teachers unions. He 100% believe in freedom of speech, freedom to to be an activist, all of those things. So we want to make sure people have a opportunity to do that, but we just want to make sure, most of all, that the residents in the area are okay and their lives aren't disrupted or property isn't damaged. So I know that the protesters want to get closer. That's between them and the DNC and the judges. We're just trying to do what we can to make sure that around the perimeter is okay and people that live in the area are okay.
You know, to your point, are there details of the city preparation, those plans, anything you can share with us?
Yeah, so the city, there are plans. I mean, right now we have routes where they're supposed to go. We have places where they're supposed to be able to demonstrate, places where they're supposed to be able to march. Of course, they're still trying to get closer to the convention. But right now, with all of those places that we have planned for them or that they have planned right now, we're trying to make sure around those areas are secure, that everybody have a freedom of speech, and that no one's harmed in the process, or no property is destructed in the process. Chicago. I mean, one of the parks that they're going to demonstrate in is a park called Union Park. This is a park where everyone who demonstrates, they come to Union Park and demonstrate first. They come to Union Park and gather. So we're used to that. It's just that now they got to march through the community and they got to go around and have other places to demonstrate. So we're just trying to make sure that those things are okay. I mean, we want folks to have the right to speak. This is the best time to speak when you have all your national leaders around, and we're working with them to try to make sure that they can do that in an orderly way, not to disrupt anything. Now, as far as security-wise with the DNC, that's something that the Secret Service and everyone else have to deal with, and they have to do their part to keep people safe.
So you've mentioned these disputes a few times, and we've noted them as well. Do you think these disagreements between protesters and the city about how close those protesters can get to this event, do you think those arguments will be resolved prior to the convention?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're in court. There's judges involved, and the judges are relieving them of different things, and they're constantly battling to get closer and closer. And I think they've been successful to certain extents, and we're readjusting as we have to. And whatever happens, we're going to be prepared to deal with it, as long as people are peaceful and speaking out. We're okay with that. We just want to make sure on our part what we can do, but also we have to deal with the Secret Service and all of those other folks that they have a duty to make sure, a lot of other people are safe also. Our main focus is making sure the citizens of the city of Chicago are safe, and also the delegates are safe coming into the convention.
Yeah. Well, we know events like this have to be on high alert for foreign and domestic threats. In about 10 seconds, what's your message to everyone attending this event?
So my message to everyone that's attending the event is going to be one of the safest places to be in the world, right? Because there's so many security people that are going to be there, so many police officers and what have you is going to be there. It's going to be the safest place to be, and it's going to be exciting. This is going to be one of the most exciting conventions that we've had in a long time since Obama. And so many young people are trying to come. I even have a granddaughter who never asked me about politics before, but because she's in the same sorority as Kamala Harris, she wants to go now. So many young people are interested in getting engaged, getting involved. And I think this is a great thing. And I think even for the protesters, it's great to have the diversity that we have in the Democratic Party to deal with all these issues. We empathize with every issue that goes on in the world, and we have a big tent. and come on down and have a good time. Enjoy Chicago.
Alderman, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.